Yo mofos, what's up, what's up, what's up? I hope मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है. And now I'm also gonna play some music. Cause why not? What's up, what's up, what's up? I've added a poll, guys. Please fucking react to it. I'm kind of. What the fuck is this? Okay, anyways. आवाज़ आ रही है? Is it fine? मेरे को पता है माइक के अंदर फाड़ के बोलना पड़ेगा ब्रो. I need to tell like this. Hello. Hello. So yeah, I think now it's fine. La 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 la. That's what I'm saying, bro. Sorry if तुम लोगों का ईयर रेप हो गया हो तो. La 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 la. लॉल. भाई अब तो ठीक है ना? आई थिंक इट्स फाइन. ओके. वेटिंग फॉर फ्यू मोर पीप्स टू जॉइन अगर कोई आ रहा है तो. Till then I can play something lo-fi. Okay, so the whole I'm gonna start now anyway. So the whole point of today's fucking live stream is I need to at least have some progress with David. So of course I need भाई टेप है क्या तेरे पे कुछ भी चलेगा भाई बस चिपकाना है कोई नहीं सुजीत से लेके आ जाऊंगा मैं I just need a tape I don't okay so yeah नहीं nothing ना 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 छोड़ मैं उससे लेके आता हूँ अभी सुजीत से technically I don't really need a tape but I still would prefer one la 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 guys मैं टेप लेके आया give me like a minute okay till then let me just oh I'll do one thing got the tape, guys. आवाज जा भी नहीं रही है. बैठ जा भाई, खड़ा है. I'm gonna start now. Okay, so technically I'm learning while I'm doing this, so just expect utter bullshit from me. Also, I'll be seeing few tutorials, ये वो देखता रहूँगा. Might not see the chats. Let me do one thing, भाई chats भी देख ही लेते हैं इधर. Shush. I need to open.
Hi, I'm Andrew Joseph Keith. This is the Proco Figure Sculpting Fundamentals course, and in this lesson, we're going to go over how to build your own anatomically correct wire armatures for sculpture. It will help if you've already seen the Proco video on the Robert Beverly Hale cranial unit measuring system, because that's the system that we will be using throughout the course. As for materials, we'll only be using some 14 gauge aluminum wire, some pliers with wire cutters, and a ruler. That's it. You might wonder, what's the purpose of an armature? Well, you don't want your sculptures to look like they were made by little kids. you want to make sure they are mature. Sculpture pun. No. The armature is the support. It's the structure. It's the skeleton. It's what keeps our sculptures from slumping over like limp, spineless noodles. The armature is one of the most important parts of the sculpture. It not only serves as support, but it also serves as an internal measuring system that makes sure that all of the proportions are already in place before we ever begin adding clay. Think of the armature as the foundation and the frame of the house. If we don't have those correct, then there will be some serious problems later on. So let's make sure that we get the armature right from the beginning. If we do it right, then we'll have all of those proportions that we all struggle with neatly in place, and we're on our way to making an anatomically correct sculpture. An important construction principle that applies to sculpture is that if you take your time to accurately fulfill each stage of the process before moving to the next stage, you'll save yourself a lot of time later on. You won't have to redo parts of the process if you get them right from the beginning. In drawing, the first step is usually lightly capturing the gesture, proportions, and composition of the figure on the page. When sculpting, the armature is the foundation upon which the sculpture is built. I've studied many methods for building wire armatures for sculpture, and in this video we're going to go over the best method. In my opinion, it's simple, it's quick, it doesn't require a lot of supplies, there's no extra wire that you need to cut off at the end, and it's easy to remember once you've practiced it a few times. Now there's a lot of cool tricks and tips to improve the armature that we will go over in the premium course, but in this video the most important thing is to be able to build a simple wire skeleton for your sculpture. If we build this armature correctly, we'll only need to cut the wire once, and we won't need tape, glue, string, or fairy dust to keep it all together once we're finished. Robert Beverly Hale's cranial units align with the bony landmarks of the body. This means they are more consistent from person to person, as opposed to the fleshy landmarks that the more common head unit system uses. I understand that this measuring system will be an adjustment for some of you, but it's worth learning. Just so you know how the units compare, one head unit is about 1 1/2 cranial units, making the average figure 11.5 cranial units tall. It is more important to understand these proportions when you're sculpting than when you're drawing. This is because when we're drawing in 2D, foreshortening will almost always shorten some measurements of the body. When we're sculpting, we don't have to worry about this. Okay, let's make the armature. For this method, we will start at the top of the head, move down the neck and over to the right arm of the sculpture, back up to the pit of the neck, then down the spine and over to the right leg of the sculpture, then back up to the bottom of the spine and continue over to the left leg, then back up the spine and over to the left arm and finish up at the head. As you unwind the wire, be sure to roll it out as opposed to pulling the wire out of the spool. Pulling it will cause it to bunch up and make a mess of your wire. For this armature, our cranial unit will be 1 inch, which will make our armature about 11.5 inches tall. We will start at the top of the
11.5 inches tall, is that okay? You know, that's like a good amount of size. Yeah, that is this much. Okay, neat.
Proportion wise, how big would be his head then?
Not sure, bro. That's what I was like. पोल भी किया था मैंने अभी. Like, do I just?
नहीं, full body structure बना ताकि you would have an idea of the head. if अगर तू head को detail करके बहुत बड़ा बना देगा तो body would be very big then.
क्या?
अगर तू सिर्फ head बनाएगा तो तू पहले पूरी body sculpt करेगा फिर head बनाएगा फिर.
I'm telling only head, like पूरा model. The whole model is just a head, nothing else.
So like that.
Yeah.
That will not give off a David vibe.
Okay, makes sense. ठीक है. मैं ज़्यादा details नहीं डाल पाऊँगा, but I don't give a fuck. Coming back, not here. Coming back.
The head, move down 2 cranial units to the suprasternal notch, tall. We will start at the top of the head, move down 2 cranial units to the suprasternal notch, then bend the wire 90 degrees.
ये वाला बहुत पतला वायर है ब्रो, बहुत ही ज़्यादा पतला वायर है.
Is outwards toward the shoulder. When bent,
यो हेलो. आज हम कर रहे हैं fucking sculpting ही technically, but I'm basically making a whole model of David, not our David. He is in Kerala. हम बना रहे हैं Michelangelo वाला David. तो उसके लिए I'm basically making a armature. उस armature से you basically build it on top of it. That's what I'm doing right now.
bending the wire, we may need to pinch the wire with the pliers as we bend in order to make a sharp angle. We can also use our thumbnail to press against the wire as we bend it. If the angle is not sharp enough, it will be difficult to know exactly where the joint is, and this could mess up the next measurement. The clavicle is 1 cranial unit, so let's measure out 1 unit to the shoulder joint. After measuring and making the joint for each,
So I'm basically just measuring few things, just following this YouTube tutorial, bro, honestly. हैं? What? अच्छा तू डोसा खा रही है? Nice.
section of the body. Take time to remeasure and make sure that the length didn't change as you bend the wire. This is especially important for your first few armatures. Bend the
Yep, I measured it. It's more than an inch. And I guess I fucked it up now. रीस्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. Okay, I think you all can't see what I'm doing. वो तो वैसे भी नहीं दिख पाएगा, but still I'll just make sure थोड़ा बहुत तो दिख ही जाए.
wire 90 degrees downward to create the upper arm. As we make this armature, let's try to keep in mind which side is the front of the body. We travel down from the shoulder joint 2 units and make a slight bend forward for the elbow. Another 2 units down and we are at the knuckles where the fingers begin. Here we will make a loop that ends at the 2 unit mark, and then retrace our steps back up.
Fuck, कान फट गई थी मेरी अभी.
To the sternum. We can do this by holding the end of the loop between the thumb and forefinger and twisting while feeding the wire with the thumb and forefinger of our other hand. By wrapping the wire around the first section of wire, We avoid shortening the measurements we've already made. If we twisted the wires together, we risk changing those previous measurements. When wrapping the wire back up the armature, try to wrap it as tightly as possible. As we bend and pose the armature, it will usually loosen up, so let's make sure it's wrapped tightly. This is especially important near the joints. Once we get back to the joint of the neck, we twist it tightly and head down the spine.
बे ये कौन है?
Will be at the bottom of the sacrum, at the same level as the greater trochanter. The distance is technically 3.5 units down from the shoulders. Sometimes I like to go down 4 units so that I can add the curve of the spine to the armature. Adding this curve tends to shorten the spine back to 3.5 units. But if you want to make sure that the spine isn't too long, just go for those 3.5 units.
Yeah, I basically need to go down 3.5 units to 4. Fuck. Load up. Yep, okay. उसके बाद
Then we bend the wire 90 degrees out to the greater trochanter, which is 1 unit out from the middle of the spine. Make another 90-degree joint to move down the femur to the knee. The femur is 3 cranial units. Bend the knee back slightly, as we did for the forearm, at about a 45-degree angle. Then 3 more units down to the bottom of the foot. Bend the
3 fuck. Those are some long fucking legs. This is my story until the end.
The wire towards the back of the foot and
To bend the wire towards the back of the foot. Fuck. हाँ तो ये सीधा ऐसे है.
make a loop that is about 1/3 of 1 unit long. This will represent the bone at the heel of your foot, called the calcaneus. This will help us remember that the foot extends back behind the ankle as well as in front. Next, run the wire to the front of the foot, which is 1 cranial unit from the ankle joint to the tips of the toes. Make a U-turn and bring the wire back and wrap it tightly around the ankle. Then twist the wire back up to the bottom of the
Ui.